The Life and Times of Socrates. Socrates was born in Athens in the year 469 BCE to Sophroniscus, a stonemason, and Phaenarete, a midwife. His family was not extremely poor, but they were by no means wealthy, and Socrates could not claim that he was of noble birth like Plato. He grew up in the political dome or district of Alopes, and when he turned 18, began to perform the typical political duties required of Athenian males. These included compulsory military service and membership in the assembly, the governing body responsible for determining military strategy and legislation. In a culture that worshipped male beauty, Socrates had the misfortune of being born incredibly ugly. Many of our ancient sources attest to his rather awkward physical appearance, and Plato more than once makes reference to it. Socrates was exophthalmic, meaning that his eyes bulged out of his head and were not straight but focused sideways. He had a snub nose, which made him resemble a pig, and many sources depict him with a potbelly. Socrates did little to help his odd appearance, frequently wearing the same cloak and sandals throughout both the day and the evening. Plato's Symposium, 174a, offers us one of the few accounts of his caring for his appearance. As a young man, Socrates was given an education appropriate for a person of his station. By the middle of the 5th century BCE, all Athenian males were taught to read and write. Sophroniscus, however, also took pains to give his son an advanced cultural education in poetry, music, and athletics. In both Plato and Xenophon, we find a Socrates that is well versed in poetry, talented at music, and quite at home in the gymnasium. Rather, he spent his days in the agora, the Athenian marketplace, asking questions of those who would speak with him. While he was poor, he quickly acquired a following of rich young aristocrats, one of whom was Plato, who particularly enjoyed hearing him interrogate those that were purported to be the wisest and most influential men in the city. Socrates was married to Xanthippe, and according to some sources, had a second wife. Most suggest that he first married Xanthippe, and that she gave birth to his first son, Lamprocles. He is alleged to have married his second wife, Myrto, without dowry, and she gave birth to his other two sons, Sophroniscus and Menexenus. Various accounts attribute Sophroniscus to Xanthippe, while others even suggest that Socrates was married to both women simultaneously because of a shortage of males in Athens at the time. In accordance with Athenian custom, Socrates was open about his physical attraction to young men, though he always subordinated his physical desire for them to his desire that they improve the condition of their souls. Socrates fought valiantly during his time in the Athenian military. Just before the Peloponnesian War with Sparta began in 431 BCE, he helped the Athenians win the Battle of Potidaea, 432 BCE, after which he saved the life of Alcibiades, the famous Athenian general. He also fought as one of 7,000 hoplites aside 20,000 troops at the Battle of Delium, 424 BCE, and once more at the Battle of Amphipolis, 422 BCE. Both battles were defeats for Athens. Despite his continued service to his city, many members of Athenian society perceived Socrates to be a threat to their democracy, and it is this suspicion that largely contributed to his conviction in court. It is therefore imperative to understand the historical context in which his trial was set.